Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 1 in season number 4 of the HES Elimination Series. We are here at the Daytona International Speedway for the Florida 60K, and coming into today's race, all 20 drivers in the field have a shot at winning the championship, but at the end of the day, 2 drivers will not be able to. And of course, you probably figured out, the Elimination Series is where at each race, we eliminate 2 drivers from championship contention. So that means, as everybody coming into today's race is eligible for the championship at the moment, the final 2 finishers in this race will be eliminated from championship contention. However, that does not mean that you're out. You'll still be racing in every single race, and you'll still have a chance to grab some wins here in the HES Elimination Series, even though you can't win the championship. As for the other races, it is the last 2 championship-eligible drivers that finish in each race that will get eliminated in each event this season. And we'll come back here to Daytona for the finale, where we will be left with 2 drivers, and whoever finishes highest of those 2 drivers will win the championship here for season number 4 of the HES Elimination Series. There will also be a combination event with the Electric Pro Series midway through the season at Atlanta. That is not a championship event for the HES Elimination Series, but it will be a championship event for the Electric Pro Series. But just to keep guys in mind, when you see the NRLOA 200K, you guys are in it as well. Anyways, coming into today's race, we got a lot of rookie and relatively new drivers in this one. Not many of the longtime veterans. Of course, we got a couple. Defending champion of the series, Matt Dahlia, one of those longtime veterans. But all these guys are kind of new, and that's going to definitely make it interesting. We might see a couple of first-time winners in this series, most definitely, because good half of them probably haven't even won a race before on Napa Fan, but it's going to be a very interesting series, and I hope you guys understand. I think you guys understand the way this series works. I think I explained it pretty well. I mean, I know sometimes I've tried to explain things, and I've done absolutely terrible in doing it, but I think we're ready to go here at Daytona, a 15-lap race. Let's go ahead, get these guys to roll off here for the HES Elimination Series at Daytona, the Florida 60K here in the HES Elimination Series. And these guys should roll off here. And they will. Luke Rainey in the number 13. If you guys saw qualifying over on my second channel earlier today, you saw that the number 13 of Luke Rainey grabbed the fastest time. He's going to be starting alongside Josh Crash in the number 26 in row number 1. Row number 2 sees the number 23 of Donovan Duthit. It's been, let's say, over a year since this guy has raced here on Napa Fan. He raced in the Turkey Hill Series, and I believe also in the Napa Truck Series season number 2 back in the fall of 2015. But he's back, glad to have him back. And number 23 to start 3rd alongside the number 47 of Ryan Madden, one of the stronger drivers in the field for this series. Row number 3, we got ourselves a first time making his first ever start here on Napa Fan, Al Legacy in the number 93. He's going to be starting alongside Dana Mon, who has some pretty good, or maybe not so pretty good memories here at Daytona in Season 2 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, just losing to Daytona 500 and Nicholas Samadeo in that race. But he's back at the number 30, glad to have him back as well. And he's going to be starting 6th alongside the rookie driver. Row number 4, it is Chris Skinlarn in the number 38, starting alongside another driver making his first ever start, Julius Anderson in the number 35. Row number 5, we got the 46 of Devin Cook and the 55 of Paul Minnick. Paul Minnick won the last race run here at Daytona on Napa Fan in the Dodge Throwback Series. It's the top 10 starting positions. There's your defending champion, Matt Dahlia in the number 40. Excuse me. Who finished highest of the 4 championship-eligible drivers in the finale race here last year. And then another good driver to note out, Stuart Gratton, starting last in the 21. Those 2 guys, Gratton and Dahlia, definitely the 2 most experienced guys in the field for the HES Elimination Series season number 4. The pace car is going to pull off. Luke Rainey and Josh Crash are ready to take the field to the green flag. And we thought this series was done, but it's not. And we're green flag racing here in the Florida 60K. And it's a side-by-side battle for the lead, and especially when you have a smaller pack like this, the 2 lanes are going to be running pretty equally, and that's definitely going to create some very interesting racing. Of course, here at Daytona, 4 wide is a big no-no, and if you do that, most likely we're going to have a big one, and if we do have a big one, The drivers involved in that one, at least a couple of them, might be eliminated from championship contention. Remember, it's the final two finishers, final two championship-eligible drivers in each race that will get eliminated from championship contention at each event. Of course, coming into this race, all 20 drivers are championship eligible, so it's just going to be the final two guys who finish in this one. Luke Rainey, in the number 13, is going to edge out Josh Crash to lead lap number 1 here in the Florida 60K, and already we have ourselves some 3 wide back in the pack. Actually, not really back in the pack, kind of up front in the pack. That is Chris Skinlart going to the inside of Donovan Duthit and Josh Crash for second. He might try to get a run to the inside of Luke Rainey for the lead here. 26 of Josh Crash getting a run on the outside there to the outside of the 13 of Luke Rainey. And the 26 taking the lead up there in the number 26. I'm talking too fast. I did that in qualifying. I just did qualifying, just recorded qualifying, and I did that where I said number 26 is leading and the number 26 takes the lead. I just keep on saying the number. But that's Josh Crash on the outside lane, leading lap number 2. Chris Skinlart trying to take the lead away from him. Not able to do it. And one thing I forgot to mention, if you win a race, you are safe from elimination in the next event. So these guys have a lot more motivation to win these races, as they will be safe from elimination in the next event if they win. So that's what's at stake here at Daytona. That's what's at stake for every single race except for race number 8. And the reason for that is because if you win race number 8, and you're still championship eligible, you would automatically go to the final 2. And we just don't want to give you that spot too early, if you know what I mean. They're 3 wide for the lead. And a dead heat between Chris Skinlart and Devin Cook. I believe the 38 edged him. No, Devin Cook led that lap in the number 3, in the number 46. He led lap number 3 in the number 46. 83 here. That is Philip Goldberg on the inside lane, trying to get around the 38 and the 26. 32, that is Reagan Whitlock, another one of these more experienced drivers in the field, moving his way on the inside lane, trying to get around Skinlart and Crash for 3rd place. He's pushing the 83 of Philip Goldberg to the lead, and the 83 of Philip Goldberg is going to lead lap number 4 here in the Florida 60K. If this thing happens to go green the whole way through, this thing is going to be done before you know it. This is Daytona. These guys are 3 wide throughout the whole pack, which means that somebody might be anxious to go 4 wide at some point throughout this race. Whitlock with the push on the inside lane, the number 98 behind him. That is Julio Caesar pushing the 32. However, Devin Cook in the 46 is getting a good run on the outside lane. And a pretty good battle for the lead, but the 32 has the advantage on the inside, trying to get around the 83 of Philip Goldberg. And Whitlock is going to be able to lead lap number 5, a third of the way through this race here in the HES Elimination Series at Daytona. The 32 continues to lead here in the Florida 60K. So we're going to try to locate Matt Delio, and right now he's pretty deep in the field, and that is not a good place to be. Remember, the last 2 drivers who finish in this race will be eliminated from championship contention. Of course, that number 40 of Matt Delio defending his HES Elimination Series championship in the number 40. But he is on the inside lane, and it does seem that this inside lane is moving their way to the front pretty good right now. The outside lane does not seem to have as much strength. However, when we have maybe about a 10-car pack, the outside lane is where you want to be, especially if you're up front. Julio Caesar leads lap number 6, and this thing is definitely closing in fast here at Daytona. How about Daniel McMillan in his first ever start here on Napa Fan to the inside of Julio Caesar for the lead. Behind him, it's Nick Smith and Stuart Gretton. He started in last place, but in only 7 laps, he's moving his way up front in the number 21. McMillan on the outside lane still has the advantage in that number 59, but Nick Smith has a run to the inside here, and he's trying to take it away from him. Surprised we have not seen any 4 wide yet. These guys definitely seem to be anxious to do so, but they have not done so yet, and that's a smart thing, especially considering we got a lot of newer drivers in the field. I'm surprised they're not as anxious to do that, but then again, maybe they just want to race it cleanly and have a clean first race, and that's definitely something that these younger drivers can show that would be good on their driving resume if they could pull it off. Where Stuart Gretton is not one of those younger drivers. He's been racing here since before this channel technically existed. And the number 21 trying to take the lead away from the 59 of Daniel McMillan, and Nick Smith to his outside, and he is going to be able to do it from last to first, and there's our 4 wide, and the 34 is going to give him to the 59, and around they go, exiting turn 4. Nick Smith taking a lot of hard hits. There is Chris Skinlart getting stuck in the wall. Julius Anderson and Luke Rainey, the pole sitter, ran right into the 38. My goodness. They just couldn't do it, could they? Julius Anderson in his first ever race. And this is where things get really interesting. Remember, 2 drivers will get eliminated from championship contention. One of those might just very well be Chris Skinlart in the 38. And it's going to be coming down between the 35 and the 13, and here is the catch. If both of these guys come down the pit lane and retire on the same lap, Luke Rainey will still have the advantage because he won the pole position. He has a farther pit stall, so that means he'll technically go farther through the field than Julius Anderson will. But that's going to be interesting. It's either going to be the 13 or the 35 who's going to join Chris Skinlart in elimination here at Daytona. There's Nick Smith in the 34. He grabbed a ton of damage in that machine. Josh crashed in the 26 a little bit there. Ryan Madden might be okay. Don't see too much damage on the 47. The leader is Stuart Gratton in the number 21. And he was not involved in that crash. So I'll give a big hand for our good friend Stuart Gratton there. It's really great to see him not get involved in the crash. You don't know how good that is. This is where the eliminations will possibly take place. If Julius Anderson can get back out there, he'll be good to go. But if he retires, I believe he is going to be the guy that joins his teammate, Chris Skinlart, and he's going to retire. And you see Luke Rainey passing him there on the pit lane. And Rainey is going to be able to advance on. But Julius Anderson and Chris Skinlart will most likely be the 2 drivers eliminated today here at Daytona. It's a tough break for those guys, especially when you get involved in a crash. That's usually how it happens here at Daytona in the HES Elimination Series. Daytona has opened up the HES Elimination Series for all 4 seasons, and I'm pretty sure every single one of those times the eliminated drivers were involved in a crash. Anyways, let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the first caution here in the Florida 60K at the HES Elimination Series race at Daytona. Well, it was the infamous 4 wide exiting turn 4 at Daytona. You know that never works. Cody Sill putting the pressure on Jordan Lopez to make it 4 wide, and this 34 of Nick Smith goes up into Daniel McMillan. McMillan hits the outside wall pretty hard. Julio Caesar, Philip Goldberg get involved. Matt Dalio got a piece of it in the number 40. But you see Chris Skinlart, and this is a very hard hit to the outside wall. He ends up hitting a little bit of a glitch, I think. He hits the outside wall once. He bounces off the 55 of Paul Minnick. That's what happened to him. And then he hits the wall at an angle where he kind of gets stuck. And that is what destroyed his race car. You see the 35 of Julius Anderson? He's the one that smacks right into the 38. Luke Rainey, he's dodging a bullet here in that number 13. I believe he's going to finish 18th, which is the last position to advance from this race. But because he grabbed the fastest time in qualifying, he was able to be ahead of Julius Anderson and finish 18th. And that is how important that qualifying session was earlier. Because if, the roles were reversed, Julius Anderson would have been ahead of Luke Rainey in that situation. But Chris Skinlart totally destroyed in the number 38, but no worries. Well, you're not going to win the championship, but you're still going to be racing in the rest of the season. Same goes for Julius Anderson. But I believe Luke Rainey is still going to be in contention for this championship after that one, even though he is going to be done for the rest of the day. This is what happened here in real time. Jordan Lopez pushing. We're going to follow with the 34 here. Pushing Nick Smith up into Daniel McMillan. Just not enough room for that to happen. And you see the 83 get involved. But Skinlart is the big one here. And you see him hit that outside wall very hard. Julius Anderson took a really hard hit to the 38. And so did Luke Rainey in the 13. But Luke Rainey is going to be barely okay to advance on. But Julius Anderson, it's the wrong place and the wrong time for the rookie driver in the number 35. And he is not going to advance on in championship contention, but he will still race along with Chris Skinlard in these races, looking to spoil the party for the championship contenders in the future races. So it's kind of fun to be eliminated because you can do whatever you want and have nothing to lose. Keep that one in mind. That's a tough break for the 35 and the 38, but that's just the way this series goes, and hate to see drivers get eliminated like that, but that's just how it is sometimes. Luke Rainey should be able to continue in championship contention because he had a farther up pit stall, because he started on the pole than Julius Anderson, and Rainey dodging a bullet here at Daytona in that one. Stuart Gratton leads the field in the number 21. Let's get to the restart here in the Florida 60K at Daytona. Back here at Daytona, and something's really interesting is going on here. Julius Anderson is actually shown ahead of Luke Rainey at the moment. However, that is not the official finishing order. And if you remember the Dodge Throwback Series finale, we all thought that Jesse Turner was going to finish last. He actually finished position ahead of Jonathan Skibnicki in that one, so keep in mind that that is not the official standings, but Luke Rainey might not necessarily be safe. Now, in all seriousness, he should be, because he finished a position ahead of the 35. I mean, he finished ahead of the 35 because he had a higher up pit stall, but I'm not entirely sure how that is awarded. But if Luke Rainey does in fact finish 19th, he is going to be eliminated, and Julius Anderson would be safe to continue. That's very interesting there. So my apologies to Luke Rainey if you happen to be eliminated here, but it's just the way it is sometimes, and in all honesty, it should be that Rainey gets the position ahead of Julius Anderson. But right now, these guys are fighting to be safe for the next race at Auto Club, and Stuart Gratton pulling away from the rest of the field here, trying to get the immunity for race number 2 here in the HES Elimination Series. And not only would he get the immunity, he would also get the pole position for the California 50K on Saturday. I keep on wanting to say Josh Crash because that's the car Josh Crash drove in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but that's actually Jordan Lopez going to the inside of Stuart Gratton for the lead. On lap 13 of 15, it's going to be 2 laps to go when we cross the line this time, and Lopez is out front in the number 15. A really clean pass to the inside of Stuart Gratton, but Gratton wants to take it back from him. And the 21 is to the inside of the 15 for the lead with 2 laps to go here at Daytona. Let's not count out these guys. How about Dana Mon here in the 40? I know it's been almost 2 years, but he wants to get some redemption from that Season 2 loss in the Daytona 500. He's pushing Cody Sill on the inside. The outside lane is starting to form up. That is good news for Stuart Gratton. And Gratton getting the push on the outside from Jordan Lopez, remains out front in the number 21. But Cody Sill, I believe, is going for his first career win here on Napa Fan. One of his drivers, Larry Ike, won 2 races in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but Cody Sill has never won himself. He's going to barely finish second on that lap as Stuart Gratton takes the white flag here at Daytona. It's either going to be Sill or Gratton. An interesting thing here, you got Matt Dalio coming on the outside lane. These lanes are equal, and we might have a dead heat at the line. Gratton's going to get the run on the outside here. Matt Dalio might decide who wins this race. It's going to depend on which lane that number 40 takes. Gratton on the outside, Cody Sill on the inside. Who's going to get this win in the Florida 60K? I think the 7 might have an advantage, but Gratton's coming on the outside. We're going to be dead even at the line. Not quite. Cody Sill wins the Florida 60K here at Daytona. His first career Napa Fan win. And it comes in the HES Elimination Series at Daytona. And the number 7 will be safe from elimination in Saturday's California 50K at the Auto Club Speedway. Gratton came oh so close, but he'll be starting on the outside pole for Saturday's race, race number 2. And that's a pretty good starting position, no matter where you are. But Cody Sill gets it done here at Daytona. He wins the Florida 60K. And I'm not entirely sure if this is official or not, but Luke Rainey is still shown behind Julius Anderson. So this is going to be very interesting here. We know for a fact that Chris Skinlard is out of the race, but it looks like Julius Anderson dodged the bullet on that one, and Luke Rainey is going to finish in 19th place. So I'm not entirely sure why it is in that order, And I apologize to Luke Rainey for giving him false hope of not being eliminated, but it might just be the way they got eliminated, and I really don't know how the computer controls that. But Julius Anderson is still safe, and Luke Rainey is eliminated. Now, I could do it where neither of you guys get eliminated, but that's not the rules, and I'm sorry to Luke Rainey, I really am. That I said that you were going to be safe, but turns out that it's not the case for the number 13. And Julius Anderson is going to continue being in championship contention in the number 35, and that's just the way the computer has it. And it's just the way it goes sometimes here in the HES Elimination Series. It's what I don't like. This is the odd thing about this series, is that, you know, one race and you can be done, and it's the unfortunate way the series goes sometimes. But my apologies to Luke Rainey. I'm very sorry that you ever thought that you wouldn't be eliminated after that crash, but unfortunately the number 13, who started on the pole for this race, will not be in championship contention. But that does not mean that he will not race anymore. He will race in every single event and still have a chance of winning the championship, or not a chance of winning the championship, but still a chance of winning some races here in the HES Elimination Series before the season ends. Chris Skinlart will be joining him in the elimination status. And we're now down to 18 guys who have a chance at winning the championship here in the HES Elimination Series. Cody Sill gets the win. He will grab the pole position for the next race at Auto Club, and he will be safe from elimination in that race. And number 7 definitely getting a good run here at Daytona, and he does not have to worry about what happens to him at Auto Club, because he cannot be eliminated because he won this race. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Congratulations to Cody Sill for getting the win, and I'm sorry to Luke Rainey and Chris Skinlart. You guys are eliminated here from championship contention. Not eliminated from racing, but from championship contention here in the HES Elimination Series at the end of race number 1. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. There are no points in the HES Elimination Series, by the way. So here's that little title screen at the end showing the finish of the race and Cody Sill beating Stuart Gratton at the line. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you guys later.
And your love